People sometimes feel like, well, my life's not perfect. I'm still dealing with pain. I still don't know my purpose. So how am I ever going to become a coach? But it's actually those experiences are what make you a powerful coach. And we often learn by teaching others. So going through the process of learning how to teach others to live their purpose is the highest way that you can understand your own. Welcome back, Neeta and Ajit, to the Highest Self podcast. So great to have you both here together on the same episode.
Super stoked to be here.
I'm so excited to be here, to be talking to this amazing tribe yet again.
Yes. And the first question I'd love to ask you both is, what makes you your highest self? So we'll start with you, Neeta.
I love this question always. You know what's coming up for me these days is being able to have alone time as a mama of two. I've noticed that when I am in my highest version of myself, that is me being super creative and having time and reflection. So currently it's time in nature and alone time when I can actually just be with my thoughts. So that is what is bringing me to my highest self these days.
Such a great reminder. We just receive such different wisdom when we're on our own. And I feel like so many of us right now, we're putting so much energy into social media and being part of the conversation, knowing what's happening, that sometimes the most restorative thing we can do is just connect to our own intuition.
1,000%.
Yeah. And what about for you, Ajit?
For me, being in my highest self or living in my highest self is when I have an opportunity to be of service to my family, service to my friends, service to the community, service to humanity in any possible way I can. So that is when I feel like I'm in my highest self.
I love that. And, the three of us, I'm always chatting about our human designs and stuff, but we really are such like powerhouse dream team, Power Ranger vibes, because we bring such different, unique lessons and experiences and backgrounds, but really all of our hearts and our intentions are at the same place of wanting to empower more entrepreneurs to share their gifts, their messages, and use the unique obstacles they've experienced, their challenges, the demographics they're from, whether it's the queer community or the Asian community or the mental health and addiction community, and not see those as like random events that just happen to happen, but actually see that as your soul's training and the very thing that you're going to be teaching and hopefully coaching people on. So we're super excited right now to just really talk about this incredible opportunity for people to take their experiences and use it as a way to serve others. So this year has been incredible. We've hit the ground running. We've graduated our first batch, 350 Dharma coaches at our institute, the Dharma Coaching Institute. And now we're opening up for our second batch. And we wanted to really chat about lessons we've learned and how the landscape has shifted and really opened up this year for more coaches to be needed. So what have you guys seen, especially with current events, the Great Resignation, some people leaving their jobs? What do you see right now as the opportunity to create a career as a soul purpose coach?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the times are so relevant right now. And if there is anything that's in the air, it's this energy of owning your story and not settling for what's around you. I mean, people are taking action in all different forms. The Great Resignation is obviously shifting a lot of people to kind of get out of their conventional jobs to do something that's unconventional, to do something that's more aligned with themselves. And I think, never before were we ever given this permission. I know for me, when I was, kind of like in between wanting to stay as a professional, conventional dentist, I was like, what else is out there for me if I wanted to leave? And right now, it's ripe. And we've seen it at DCI in this first batch where people are now feeling way more they're just feeling way more into where they're meant to be going because they're honoring their truth, they're honoring who they are, they're honoring their past, they're honoring a lot of the wounds and even just how and where and all of the different complexities and the layers of what they've been through to really be able to help others with their journey and their purpose and really what their soul's calling has been kind of screaming at them to remember to walk that path and walk that light and illuminate it for other people. And it's just been powerful to see in our own community at DCI, the stories that we've been able to see and just from all different walks of life around the world. We've been able to serve from 15 different countries. So it's been so powerful that, it's not just here in the US that we're feeling the Great Resignation, but I think globally around the world with our global community, everyone is feeling that urge to really come from a place of service and love. And that's kind of the motto that Ajit and I through and through, from our own personal relationship to how we actually show up in business. And even with you, Sahara, you kind of embody this as well, this idea of service and love, but to be able to kind of gel it all together and see firsthand our students really own their unique expression of that has been probably one of the most profound experiences.
I love that so much. Owning your story and recognizing that your story is powerful. I think so many people listening to this podcast right now have overcome enormous obstacles, whether that obstacle was a trauma they've experienced. I mean, even just the past 2 years now has been pretty traumatic for a lot of us, but a lot of people listening to the podcast, they are that person that their friends come to whenever they need advice, whenever they have a problem. They naturally are that person who's able to see things from a higher perspective. It's just most of us feel like, oh, that's just a random gift that I have, or that's not even a gift. Probably everyone can do that, but that's not true. Like the average person is not approached at CVS by a stranger telling them their life story. Like if that is you, that is a soul gift you were born with, and you're meant to share that. I think what's missing is most people, they don't know how to actually turn that into a business, a career. And that's why we're so excited to really hone those gifts together to be of service, but also let people be handsomely rewarded so we can empower entrepreneurs, but also make investments into businesses and more opportunities to create that economy that right now, like we're seeing the old world crumble. So it's up to us to actually empower people who are making positive decisions and putting good things out into the world to share that. So we're super excited. So what do you see as business master, Ajit, of the opportunity right now to become a soul purpose coach?
Well, the opportunity has been building up for several years now. I think this is the time where everybody had to go through a pause in their life. I'm sure every listener of this podcast has experienced a pause in life. It may have been a short or long pause over the past 2 years, especially because we had to kind of halt our horses and kind of go, okay, let's reevaluate life, right? And when we reevaluate life, we either experience what the Japanese, I think, say moments of kensho or satori. Kensho, which is basically the moments of disruption or pain, or moments of insight. Either of those situations probably reveal to you that it is time for you to move on and find and live more of you every single day. Because that's what happens when we get to stop and slow down and really reflect on life. We get to go, okay, hold on. I'm doing all this crazy stuff. I'm working all these long hours in the job, or I'm doing a career or getting an education that I don't even enjoy. Why am I doing so? Right? The world kind of said, hey, let's take a break by introducing this virus into our ecosystem. And suddenly the whole world went on a pause and had to reevaluate, reassess what had been happening in life. And the moment that happens, and we get to slow down, we all get to question what is our meaning and purpose in life. And guess what happens when we do that, right? The first thing that we evaluate is our jobs, the opportunity that is in front of us, the thing that takes most time. And when we evaluate it, and I want everybody that is listening to this podcast to evaluate that for a hot second and say, hey, if I'm doing this job or I'm pursuing this particular career right now, am I happy in it? Is this what I really am meant to do in life? Is this what I really want to do day in, day out for the rest of my life? And if the answer is no, you know there Sorry. If the answer is no, know that you're not alone because there are many individuals who felt the same way and they said, I need change. I want to change. I want to find a new career. I want to grow in a career. I want to do this or that. And when that happens, while yes, in sight wise, we go, yes, the person wants to change. Guess what's the next step? I want to change, but I don't know how. I need guidance. I need support. I need coaching. Coaching has become so mainstream that I think right now it's one of the fastest growing industries, especially life coaching is one of the fastest growing industries in the world right now. So it is on fast track to, I think, be a $15 billion industry as per the last data that I saw. I could be off about data, but it's in billions of dollars and it's growing at the fastest pace that is right now. And so the opportunity has only grown because of the Great Resignation, as we call it. I heard somebody call it the Great Reassignment because we've all kind of reassigned to a new purpose or a new way of living life, or need to reassign ourselves, our energies towards a new purpose and a new life. Because if we and that happened because we all had a pause, and I'm sure everybody that is listening to it is also questioning, is this what I'm doing right now is my life's purpose? And if the answer is no, and if the answer is something in alignment with helping individuals, helping people, I invite you to check out what we have to talk about today, because this will be a great, not only an opportunity for your soul to live its purpose, but also be able to help others help live their soul purpose. And that's why we're so excited to talk about it, Mark.
I love that so much. The great reassignment. It truly is, because we're all realizing that we are assigned to our unique callings. It's not random, it's not coincidental, and it's not even something outside of you. It's something that you remember. And I feel like right now, this sacred pause that we've experienced, this global ayahuasca ceremony for the past 2 years, the collective has been in, we're all sitting in this, we're like vomiting. We're like, what is this shit I've been holding on to? And we're like, oh, wow, now I have clarity. Now I see the vision. Now I see how the abusive relationship I was in, which is part of your story, Neeta, is helping me now empower other women. We see what it's like to be working at a corporate job and have everything figured out, be the CEO, be the leader on top, like you experienced, Ajit, and also feel like there's something deeper in my soul. My experience of doing what my family told me to do, and being smart and doing the right thing, and realizing I have these creative gifts to share. All of these things become part of the messaging that we pass along to others. And that's why when the three of us really got together, we're like, how do we empower? We can't do this alone. How do we empower other people to be in their unique communities, demographics, walks of lives, experiences, and to be able to create those transformations in the unique place that only they can touch? And that's really what this is about. Not one person can do it alone. And we really are here creating a global movement, the first ever Dharma coaches. And it's not just us, it's you listening right now. When you join, it's going to be such a powerful experience. So we have learned so much this year, and one of the biggest changes that we've done, or two of the biggest changes that we've done, I'll share about. First, I want to dive into coaching. What we've done at Dharma Coaching Institute is, as soon as you join, the first month is all about coaching frameworks. And what we've experienced is a lot of people, they may know intellectually, like, oh, you're supposed to ask questions, you're supposed to listen, but you don't practice it. And you don't get that experience that only practicing coaching can do. So can you share a little bit about what they can expect in their first month at DCI?
Yeah, I mean, it is all about coaching fundamentals and really kind of getting that solid framework of understanding how to interact with your clients. And most coaching companies and certifications, I feel like the one thing that we've noticed in even in building the curriculum and refining it even for this next batch, which we're so excited about, and adding in even more of some of the missing elements, was this whole idea of, it's not cookie cutter. You can ask, similar questions, but you have to really treat, each and every client differently. And that is tapping into your own intuition, but also getting a sense of really understanding the psychology and the emotional health of your clients. And so we go into, for the first month, the Dharma coaching framework that, we've all created and all developed together, but really understanding the personalities, the archetypes, as well as then getting into the Dharma discovery framework, as well as then fully being able to, for the next half of the program, is putting everything together. Whereas before, we actually started out with some of the theory, but we realized that you guys need a practice right away, and we got to get in there, because if we want you to be the most solid, certified Dharma coaches and soul purpose coaches coming out of the program, we have to start with the basic foundation of you being able to build your confidence while being a coach, and as well as what your own unique style is, because that's really going to come out the more that we start practicing and getting you into just sessions with your community, with your we're calling them your coaching community. How are we going to call it? Our family communities, and just being able to connect with some of the other students, so that you can really fine tune your skills as a certified Dharma coach.
I love that so much. And one of my favorite things that we added is we looked at all of the deepest limiting beliefs that people experience when stepping into their purpose. And these aren't just experiences that your clients will have, but also you as a student, because what we've experienced is a lot of coaches, they may still have these limiting beliefs. So we can't help our clients if we're still dealing with them. So we look at, what's your relationship with money? What are the stories that you're holding on to? What are maybe the perspectives that you have of, oh, I can only be successful if I XYZ? Where do you feel like you're not enough? Where is there confusion? Where is there overwhelm? Because again, we can only take our clients as far as we have taken ourselves. So we really start this first month at, how can I be a living example of my Dharma? And what we've experienced is a lot of people join Dharma Coaching Institute, DCI, to actually understand their purposes themselves. Not everyone even wants to become a Dharma coach. So you're actually going through being a Dharma coach for 6 months in this really deep and powerful way. So even if you're like, I'm not sure if I want to create a career out of this, like that sounds cool, but not for me. However, I am really interested in having the highest quality and the highest level, like 4 to 6 hours a week for 6 months, like going in. That's who this is for. And what we've observed is, for example, one of our students, she joined DCI to understand her purpose. Her son dealt with addiction most of his teenage years, and actually experienced a heroin overdose, which is such a hard thing as a mother for your own son to experience. So a lot of her life has been dedicated to her son, and now she's in her 50s, and she's really wondering, well, what is my purpose? I'm curious about stepping into it myself. So she joined DCI simply for her own education. And what she found was that she got everything she needed to actually help others, that now she is coaching other mothers whose sons and daughters may be dealing with addiction, which is so powerful, because it's such a unique and specific experience that really only a mother who's been there can truly understand what someone is going through. And I love that story so much, because people sometimes feel like, well, my life's not perfect. I'm still dealing with pain. I still don't know my purpose. So how am I ever going to become a coach? But it's actually those experiences are what make you a powerful coach. And we often learn by teaching others. So going through the process of learning how to teach others to live their purpose is the highest way that you can understand your own.
And so true. And to really piggyback on what you just shared about the mother with her son and his addiction, and now being the fuel that she shares with other people. I mean, we saw this with so many different students coming in, starting out thinking that, on the one hand, they're going to be transformed, but then we got all of these testimonials and reviews saying how much they've deeply been transformed. And they, many of them, of course, are going to go on and create businesses within their own communities, just because of the 1 or 2 big wounds that they had been through in their life. And also now being able to just even have deeper conversations even if they're not going to go on and become a coach, but just using the skill set and the foundations that we provided to have those deeper and meaningful conversations of even healing within their own family members, within their family dynamics, mother to child, and even within their friend circle. So it's been a profound experience and I wanted to share this one story that came up. Mariana, she was actually from a small town, and one of our students, of course, they changed her name, but she actually came into DCI because this was her first time leaving this sort of occult environment that she experienced. And this totally blew her away because she finally found a community that would support her, not judge her, not shame her for the things that she didn't do or did do. And, what a solid way to really then build confidence and then be able for her to then go back and share this with her own community so that she can actually inspire and transform some of the dogma that she actually grew up with. So super powerful that whoever is listening right now, if you feel that you're like the outsider in your community, if you feel that you don't necessarily belong, or you're trying to find your own groove, or you're on the brink of some sort of change, this program is totally for you.
Mm.
I wanna share something on top of that. So we already talked about the group of individuals that are interested in serving humanity, right? If you want to serve humanity, you want to help people find purpose during this reassignment, resignation, however you want to call it, this journey that humanity is having. DCI is something that you want to look at. Dharma Coaching Institute is something that you want to look at. Secondly, if you are somebody who is feeling lost yourself, if you are concerned about where you are right now in life and you want to go through an intensive experience to rediscover your own dharma, your own purpose in life, this is something that you want to look at. I want to talk to the third set of people that we haven't talked to as yet, and that is individuals that are in careers, jobs, businesses that you don't necessarily are not passionate about. You like that, but at the same point in time, you have more to give, that you want to still serve humanity, even if that's not the core job that you do, that there is something more that you have to offer, and you would like to discover it and use the channel of service, your inherent need of all human beings, which is to serve humanity at a larger scale, to make contribution to humanity at a larger scale. If that is something you want to do part-time, something that you want to do just as a project that you do as you anyways have the career that you have, right? Because some of us are also uh, individuals who have families and don't want to quit our careers per se just yet, but we want to get ready to really fully live the way we want to live. So if you are that person, this may be the perfect program for you, because this is not something that we're doing in a short burst. It is a full 6-month experience that you get to come in and out of. We have scheduled it in a way that you get to still enjoy your holidays. You still get to go back to the family and make sure that holidays are taken care of for them. But you come back into the community. The community is there to support you. Their training is complete all the way, going from the first month, which is where we work on your own mindset and how you approach coaching. What are some of the blocks that will stop you as you start the journey? Then in month one, we really dive deep into human design and coaching. Coaching is a skill. Month two through month four, we talk about really finding your purpose, helping your clients find their purpose using the Dharma model that you'll be learning throughout the course. And then the last 2 months, we actually handhold you to show you some of the ways you can build your business. This is one of the things that a lot of coaches or a lot of people who are just starting out feel very concerned about. They feel, oh, I don't have all the tools. I don't know how to put this together. So what we have done is we've taken the combined experience of me, Sahara, and Neeta, who have all built really, really successful coaching businesses in different ways in our own lives, to bring those models together and work with you for 2 months. This is something that we expanded into after hearing more and more individuals saying, hey, yes, you gave us all the training, but I would love to do some practice with you. So we have added 2 extra months to the certification. So everybody that is coming into the program can practice at the pace they need to practice. So it's not something where you have to feel rushed. You don't have to feel like you're cornered. You don't have to feel like you can't finish it. We've given enough space for you to really take in all the content, really embody it, really practice it during the course of the program. This is why it's a little longer as a program from what we initially envisioned, but it is in consideration of everybody that comes in through the program. So we're very excited to work with you for the next 6 months as this program becomes something that becomes an essential part of your training in how you get to do life after this.
Thank you so much for sharing all that. I'm so excited for all of the additions that we've created. And, a lot of listeners, they may have done a yoga teacher training, health coach training, meditation training. So think of it like that. For example, when you do a yoga teacher training, it doesn't mean you necessarily need to quit your job and be a full-time yoga teacher, but diving into a training allows you to really focus on something from that highest level. Like we shared, the best way to master something is to teach it to others. And frankly, there aren't a lot of experiences in life that we step into a container. But what I've noticed in my own journey is every time I've stepped into a container, that's when I've experienced transformation at the fastest speed. Most people think living your purpose is something you figure out later on in life in your 40s or 50s. And if you haven't figured it out by then, you probably don't have one. It's too late for you. It's like this, when does it happen? But really it's because when have you spent 6 months of your life and really dedicated 4 to 6 hours a week to asking yourself powerful questions, having conversations, practicing, reading books, doing Q&As, working with people? That has never happened. Honestly, like, I don't even understand how the college and high school system work with their guidance counselors. They're like, pick a career. Are you going to be a doctor, lawyer, or policeman? It's like a game of the life, when you pick a card and it's like, choose your career. Like, that's not how it works. And that's why most people, they always feel like they're in between. They're like, I don't like this job, but I don't know where I'm heading. I don't know where I'm heading, but they never feel like they totally land and get there because they've never been asked the right questions. They've never been in a container. They've never had a period of transformation. So think of it like when you go on a retreat, you walk out of that retreat just a week later and you feel like a different person. Now imagine a retreat over 6 months of diving in and deepening with all of these different layers and nuances to it. I mean, 6 months are going to go by regardless, right? Like you can listen to this and 6 months are going to go by. Maybe you're still listening to the podcast in May and maybe nothing's changed. Or you can have your website up that says your name, certified soul purpose coach. I work with people who experienced exactly my story, and here is how I'm going to help create transformation for you. And every single day you open up your Stripe account, you open up your PayPal account, and you are being rewarded for sharing your gifts, not for a job that you hate. You're not selling your soul. You're not working to pay bills and taxes and die. You are actually rocking your gifts on a daily basis. And that's, to me, the most rewarding thing of all of this, to really be able to know that my gifts, my voice, my message matters. And that alone is enough. And most of us, we don't feel that that's enough, but it is more than enough. Truly, everything that you have right now is going to make you a great coach. You already can coach. However, to know the frameworks, to have the agreements, to know the legalities, to know how to hold space, that's what's going to make you a master coach. And that's what we're here to help you do at Dharma Coaching Institute.
Absolutely. And so true about that, right? Like, whereas it's so funny, as human beings, what we've done is we have created all these different tools, computers and everything. And when you buy a computer, you get this big manual that you have to read, and Mike has a big manual. Everything has a big manual. And where is that manual of being and living human? Right? We're just defaulting ourselves to, oh, whatever happens, I'm just going to react to it, instead of saying, hey, here is my manual of finding my purpose, living my purpose, because that is having a human experience. And so spot on. Why would you choose to not live a life, a career of purpose and meaning, where you are actually pumped about every day, that you have freedom to create what you want to create, you have freedom to work with who you want to work with? There is really no excuse in this year, in 2021 and 2022, for us to say, oh, I can't do it because. There is no because left anymore. Everything that we know of society has changed, more so in the last 2 years, but definitely in the last decade. We are a different society altogether. We don't have to follow those norms. The world has changed, and it's about time that we did too.
I love that so much. And one of the other things that I love that we've really added is in the business training, we really guide you through finding your niche. Most people, they go to a coaching school and they still don't know who they're working with. They still don't know who they're communicating with, and they don't know how they can speak their language and serve them. So we're going to be guiding you to come up with your niche, to practice sharing your niche with the other students, to get feedback, to practice pitching, to get comfortable with that. I've seen, and I know you guys have seen, so many people with incredible empathy and listening skills, but they don't know how to share with others. They don't know how to create a business out of it.
Or they, I think the biggest thing that we've seen, just even in the last batch is, and even in which is why we've added an extra 2 months so that we can help certified Dharma coaches leave with the confidence that they need to make offers coming from a place of their own heart and their own wisdom and their own intuition, where a lot of times, you're not given that. A lot of times you're saying, well, I serve everybody. And I'm just a place, I'm coming from a place of love, and I want to just serve all of humanity. But actually that's not going to help you create a really sustainable business. So we actually help you own not only your story and where you've come from, but also have those sometimes, uncomfortable conversations that can really help transform someone else's life. Because a lot of times that person on the other side, maybe it's your friend, maybe it's a colleague at work, maybe it's a family friend. They need you, but they've never had an experience with a coach before. So we give you those specific skills on how to navigate those kinds of conversations, which are about enrolling clients, or, some would call it a sales conversation, so that you do it with grace and you do it with confidence, knowing that at the end of the conversation, that person, doesn't matter if they're going to sign up with you or not, but they are transformed. And so that is the beauty of what we've extended our business training for an additional 2 months. Not only that, exactly who you are meant to serve. And you are saying, just like how you said, Sahara, I am this person and I serve mothers who have gone through traumatic experiences, or I serve teenagers who don't want to go to college and want to do something that's more in alignment with their hearts. Because these are the stories from so many of our students that have just graduated, and to see the specificity, to see how excited they are to go back into their own communities and small towns and places all around the world, to be able to have that level of clarity and just conviction and excitement, is something that you would experience at Dharma Coaching Institute.
Yes, it feels so good to know that these people are going to be in every avenue of life, every corner of the world, raising the vibration of the planet. I think of us each as these individual little light bulbs. And, when you see those pictures of the world at night and it has all these light bulbs, but like, that's what we're doing here as soul purpose coaches. We're like the light bulb in France and the light bulb in Peru and the light bulb in this demographic. And that's really what we're here for. No one, whether it's Tony Robbins, or no one can solve all the world's problems. And in fact, every single person is going to need someone who can connect with them. So know that your experience is enough. And what I love also about what we've added on to the program is once you graduate, you're not left alone. So we have added a 2-year licensing program. So for 2 years, every single month, it includes a Q&A coaching call with our master coaches. These are master coaches who worked with Dr. Joe Dispenza, like really cream of the crop coaches that alongside us will be coaching you. So let's say, 6 months later, you're like, I still have some questions about enrolling clients. I have some questions about, should I change my 3-month package and make it a 4-month package or whatever else it is? You'll have that continual support, because we don't want you to just graduate the program and leave and figure it out on your own. We are in your corner. We want you to succeed. So that's why we added 2 additional, no coaching program out there does this, but we're just obsessed with you guys. So we're just like, we don't want to let you go. So you're going to still, and we're going to, as soon as everything opens up, we're going to do live events. Like, this is a community. This truly is a community that will surpass the test of time. And these are the people you're going to one day go on family vacations with, you're going to start businesses with, your future best friends. And we're so excited to be those people to help connect you guys together. And Another incredible thing that we have is our Dharma Directory. So all three of us, we don't even work with clients one-on-one because our practice is really about coaching coaches, but we get asked, hundreds of times a day, can I work with you? Can you Dharma coach me? So we're actually, and have created a directory now that soon will be on our website of all of the Dharma coaches that have graduated with us with their niche. So someone can look up, I'm looking mother, corporate, addiction, whatever the niche is, and they'll find the coach that can work with them. So this is such a powerful tool because we will actually be an avenue for you to get clients from. And between our email lists, hundreds of thousands of people who every single day are interacting with our work, and you will be right there spotlighted. And we're so excited to share your success stories. We're already on the Instagram. We're sharing different businesses you guys have come up with. And another detail to that I want to add is beyond one-on-one coaching, we start with one-on-one coaching at DCI, but then you can take this experience towards creating your online courses, writing your book, speaking on stages, creating businesses related to this. We believe that working one-on-one with someone gives you that experience and that background. That's really what we focus on at DCI. And then from there, and having that experience, that confidence, the sky is the limit. The revenue streams are unlimited. For example, I do podcasting and speaking. Ajit starts businesses. We had one graduate, she started these archetype gift boxes of like the different Dharma archetypes with gifts. Like, it's so cool how creative it is. So don't feel like, oh, well, I don't really know if I want a one-on-one coach, if this is right for me. Get the experience and then apply it to whatever it is that you want to do in life.
Absolutely. And even for those who are listening and you're like, wait, can I join? Because I'm already a coach. I already have a practice. And absolutely, this is totally for you. We've had several of our first batch and several of our students already were coaches to some degree. Either they took some sort of a training, either a yoga teacher training, or they were already practicing coaches, or they were already practicing therapists that wanted to know a different angle, that wanted to add a different element, a different layer to what they were already doing. So think of even this program, this training, as an additional set of tools, an armamentarium of tools that will help you even more connect at a different and a deeper level with the clients that you are meant to serve.
I love that so much. There's so much there. If you listen to this podcast, like, imagine having me actually as your coach, diving deep with like PDFs and frameworks and like all the good ish. Like, it is like taking everything in this podcast and bringing it to action. And, I actually teach 2 workshops in the curriculum, 2 90-minute workshops on, first of all, my entire system of the podcast. What's my backend? How do I edit? How do I put episodes up? How do I choose my title? This, that. Like, I have now almost 5 years of podcasting experience. So that's all available for you. I've written an entire ebook for you in the program. But then I also did one all about how to be an empowering interviewer, how to have conversations, how to have solo casts, like, because at the end of the day, it's your content that's what's going to get you far. So it's experiences like this that you don't get in other coaching institutes. To be honest, I would say at most coaching institutes, it's people who've never had businesses as coaches, and for us, we've had businesses as coaches and beyond, and we bring all of these layers of expertise into it. I also teach about social media, how to use your social media as a powerhouse marketing tool for you to share your message. And Ajit, if you could share a little bit about how you teach how to create packages as a Dharma coach.
So what we did is we understood, like how Neeta was sharing before, is when you are a new coach, very often you lack the confidence. You're like, what you need to do, but you, for whatever reason, are not able to do it, right? And because of that, what we did is we designed the business trainings of the Dharma Coaching Institute in a way where you can take it as templates. You can go, okay, I want to start my practice. I need a package, or what could be my package? And we say, hey, here is a structure you can use for a 1-month coaching program, a 3-month coaching program, a 6-month coaching program. Here is roughly how you can price. Then of course there will be variations based on the country that you're in and the client and the type of audience that you're talking to. But we give you those variations. We give you how to talk to these clients, how to really make an offer, how to really have a conversation that's a heart-centered conversation. Doesn't sound like as if you're like pitching something or anything like that. It's a conversation, it's a dialogue. and you're able to much easily, by understanding the person across the room, able to enroll them. So what we've done is we've really taken those key nuggets that stops a person and try to templatize it as much as possible so you can feel confident and encouraged to be able to take action, because that is the key to success. Like we after building so many different businesses between ourselves, we've realized that there is no perfect script. The perfect script is to keep taking action, keep moving towards the target. And as you move towards the target, your methodology improves, your ability to sell improves, your ability to communicate improves, your ability to package improves, your ability to be able to price yourself improves. When I started my coaching practice, I was charging a couple of $100 an hour. Now it's hard to hire me for $3,000 an hour. So because I just don't have availability. And that's not to boast about anything. That's not what I'm trying to share here. What I'm trying to say is all of us will find our journeys and be evolving from there. What we are giving you is foundational skills that will always be useful, and you will be using them through the course of your coaching career because they always stay the same. There are no gimmicks. There are no things that work today and won't work tomorrow. These are things that are fundamental to business. We've built business after business after business based on these foundations. And if you get them right, you will never need the gimmicks and the tricks. You will always be able to grow just because of a great product that you create and that you are as a coach and that you will become as a coach, and just be able to use those fundamentals to keep building a solid business and not just something that's based on some algorithmic change or whatever that is always changing on all of us, clearly.
I love that so much. And what I love what we've created in DCI, it's really for every type of learner. So if you're someone that, you really like to follow the rules, you want to have your script, we've actually created what could a 3-month package look like for you? What could you talk about every single session? We have that all laid out. What would a 6-month package look like? So you could literally just graduate. We've created social media graphics for you, how to do your bio, what to put on your website, like literally everything. So if you're that type of learner, you're just like, I need a lot of support, please help me. Like, I don't want to have to figure this out on my own. We got you. If you're like, you know what, I just want to learn this new methodology, but I have my own thing. Maybe I want to integrate it with, astrology, or maybe I want to integrate it with my body work practice or whatever it is. You can also just take what you like of it and sculpt it to be your own masterpiece. And again, I feel like that's really what's missing in the coaching space, that freedom to make it look the way that you want. We're not here to create carbon copies of ourselves, but we are here to, really shed light on the things that sometimes are a little bit nuanced or you're not sure about, of like, hey, like, how much could you actually price? Hey, how do you deal with a client that ghosts you? Like, these things also do happen. And we really integrate the masculine and the feminine, the light and the shadow, like all aspects, 360, full spectrum, because we want you to succeed. And we've been there too. Yay, amazing. So we really got to dive in this podcast. Thank you guys both so much for showing up. So doors are open right now. If you are interested in launching your career as a certified soul purpose coach, this is the time, because we begin week of November 8th, 2021. So the next 6 months are going to pass by. You can continue to, try to get free information from Instagram and the podcast, and that's great. Or you can step into a container of transformation, and I guarantee you will not be the same person on the other side. So if you're listening to this, you're curious, you want to learn more, head over to dharmacoachinginstitute.com. Again, that's Dharma, DHARMA, coachinginstitute.com. You can find that link in the show notes, and we're so excited to welcome you inside. So thank you so much, Neeta and Ajit, for being on the podcast today and for co-creating this amazing opportunity with me.
We are so, so excited. Cannot wait to welcome each of you into DCI.
The class starts on the 8th of November, so the time is limited, and so are the seats. Looking forward to welcoming each one of you.
See you there.
So grateful for you both. And thank you guys so much for listening. Namaste.